Welcome to the Alex Merced Cast, where Alex Merced of AlexMerced.com brings you principled, thoughtful, libertarian commentary on issues that matter.
Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from AlexMerced.com, and you're listening to the Alex Merced Cast. Now again, this is part of our series of Bonus Monday episodes, and if you guys are really enjoying the content on these Bonus Monday episodes, please do consider subscribing as a patron over there at patreon.com/Alex Merced, whether it's $1, $5, $10 a month. It all goes to help as we're going to reassess sort of what's going on with the podcast and many of my other Liberty projects at the end of June. And it's going to be dependent on sort of my ability to financially, how feasible it is financially for me to keep kind of doing the output that I have as I'm going through some transitions in life, which we'll talk more about at a later juncture. But so please do consider that. It does help. It does matter. Going over to patreon.com/Alex Merced and becoming a subscriber, it gives you access to the Discord group, and we'll be giving other perks as we go along. Now, today what I want to talk about is polarization and why polarization matters. Because a lot of times people in politics, their focus is, I want to promote my ideas, and I don't care if people are upset by hearing my ideas. I don't care. Now, there's a couple of reasons why that's a bad way to approach it. I mean, one is generally if you make people upset, they're not listening to you, and they're less likely to embrace your ideas. But not just that, oftentimes you actually push them further away. You polarize. So oftentimes, saying that trying to push people too much ends up pushing them further in the opposite direction. This is kind of what's going on in the country right now as a whole. You have a lot more polarization as people dig in, because everyone's trying to push people in a very quite a distance, and either to the left or to the right or to wherever view people want to push. But polarization really has, and it's not just that, but it's also just the nature of politics. Because the nature of politics is to win an election, you need 51%. So you can upset, anger, be mean to 49% of the population and still retain power. And that's what politics oftentimes reduces down to. It's just, how can I get 51% to hate, resent, or be scared of the other 49% enough to vote for me against them. Okay, it's never about, I want to have everybody on the same page, because you're never going to be able to please everybody enough to exceed what someone can please 51% of the people, in a sense. Okay, so I can theoretically imagine a scenario where, hey, everyone at the table is happy to an extent. They have something they can live with, yes. But the value they get out of that scenario is going to be less than the value they get if the person who caters to just 51%, so decides to be willing to unplease, let's say 49% of the people, the value they'll get in that scenario. Okay, so it's just sort of natural, sort of the rational irrationality of politics. Okay, where basically, it creates this incentive to maximize the value for something, to create this coalition that subjugates another. So that means and the thing is that I only need you to vote for me for one moment, so it's much easier to use fear than hope. Okay, because hope requires me to give you a vision of the future and how good the future can be. That's powerful, but even more powerful is what you can lose right now. So there's a lot of behavioral studies that say people are much more willing to act on losing something than they are on getting something. So a message of fear is going to be much more powerful in the short run than a message of hope. And this is why candidates oftentimes focus on fear, on the horrible things that are going to happen to you if the other candidate wins. And their supporters who are horrible people for voting for that person. And you don't want to be a horrible person, so don't vote for them. Don't even talk to them. Don't look at them. And this creates sort of a division society. Now, this is great for the purposes of winning elections. You sit there and you create these divisions, and your voters are your voters. So even if you don't necessarily do all the things you say, as long as they think the other person would have done things that are worse, you're good. And that's the nature of sort of electoral politics. Okay, this is very different than sort of market democracy, in a sense where basically me choosing happens on a daily basis. Me choosing McDonald's happens on a daily basis, and they mess up on one transaction, I don't go to them for the next. Okay, while if I vote for president, I'm stuck with that president for 4 years, and they're going to do all sorts of things over the next 4 years, and I'm only given 2 choices, and if the other choice is worse, then that sucks. So that's sort of the story what's going on here with politics. But the thing is that it also has a social and economic cause, because the more divided we are from each other, the more we start hating, resenting, fearing each other because of the political divides, because of the nature of politics to exaggerate and maximize sort of the things that divide us, to amplify them. The result is our local communities break down, our families break down, our all these things, and it's those social connections that allow us to help each other and kind of provide that voluntary social help or aid that society needs for the people who need help. And then that hurts, and also hurts economically, because we're less willing to do business with each other. We're less willing to help each other. We're less willing to converse with each other. A lot of the benefits that the free exchange of ideas, the free exchange of capital, the free movement of things aren't there if we don't talk to each other, if we don't associate with each other. We don't have to agree with each other on everything, but we have to be willing to be freely coexist. And politics is a tendency of undermining that. This is one reason why, as a libertarian, I'm very concerned about the power of government, because the more power government has, the more consequential elections are, and the greater the impact of the natural polarization of electoral politics. So if I want to depolarize, well, first we need to depolarize politics, because until we start talking to each other, associating with each other, conversing with each other, it's kind of hard to have that free world that I want. But also at the same time, things will only depolarize if electoral politics becomes something that people don't need to pay attention to, if it becomes less consequential, and that will only happen with less government power. So this is, to me, like a very practical, a very high level reason why, even if you're not like a libertarian through and through with me, who just really loves free markets and really believes in free people, that limiting of governments to limit polarization, I think, is a very compelling reason to understand as a major benefit sort of to the libertarian program of sort of limiting government, getting government out as many things as possible. So I kind of wanted to, that was the point of today. I wanted to really kind of present that argument and have that discussion, because I think that's an important discussion to have that isn't being had enough, because everyone always just blames the other side for being the source of all the polarization. No one wants to accept their role in creating that polarization, because to them that polarization is that creating that anger and frustration and fear of the other side is how they win. And they don't want to give up their tool, their weapon, but they sure do want to take it away from their opponent. But the problem is, in order for society to really thrive, we need to, and this is why I always use the term disarming our hearts, because that's literally what we're doing. We're disarming our hearts. We're saying, you know what, we're not gonna be so defensive. We're not gonna be so antagonistic. I'm gonna let my heart be open to disappointment, to be open to things not always going right, because until we're open to uncertainty, everything is, there's always uncertainty in everything. It's kind of like relationships. People who have a hard time being in a relationship because they're scared of being hurt. They're scared of the uncertainty. There's a chance that things might work out and they'll have a happy life. There's in uncertainty, there's also the hope of something good. But they're so scared of the chance of something bad that they just don't take on that uncertainty at all. And this is society as a whole. We get so scared of the bad that we close off to the good. So this is why depolarization is so important, and depolarization is going to really be dependent on our limiting of government power and limiting of the role of sort of electoral politics in our lives. So that's what I wanted to say today. My name is Alex Merced from alexmerced.com. If you guys enjoyed my message, if you guys enjoy my episodes, if you guys enjoy the things that I do and the message that I'm getting out there, I really do hope that you can consider becoming a supporter over there at patreon.com/alexmerced. $1 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. the goal is to show if anything, at least $1 a month, just so that way I can know you're out there. I know the still supporters are out there. I know that they want me to keep doing what I'm doing, and I would appreciate that very much. And it does go a long way. It does make a difference. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to the Alex Merced Cast. Learn more at alexmerced.com, libertarian101.com, and libertarianwingmedia.com. Follow Alex Merced on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.